I think that's probably one of my bigger arcs, right, for me was trying to basically go from the, all right, I know I have all the chaotic ability to create anything, but what can I deliver at high quality, right? And figuring out where the balance is in between those.
Yeah, that's a real.
So
Oh, good.
oh no, perfect. Go ahead. I was going to just segue that over to you, actually.
Yeah,
So what was your start and end arc?
that's actually a perfect way to segue too, because I feel like when you come in as an associate level, the lowest level of designer, you're very unsure about yourself. You've never shipped
Yeah.
anything. You don't know how it's going to turn out. You don't know if it's going to break horribly. You don't know if anyone's going to like anything you've put out. Just like any other art, you feel very vulnerable. And for me, it's kind of compounded also by I was amongst giants. I was joining a team with like Jeff Kaplan on it, who was my personal like mentor. Well, not mentor, because didn't really get mentoring, but like what's role model? Role model's a better
Role
word.
model. Okay.
Someone you looked up to.
I looked up to him a lot, yeah, and even during the EverQuest days, I would read his blog posts, and when I found out he was making an MMO, I was like, oh my god, I gotta like play this MMO. But what I mean is like the people on the team were very senior, in both like their tenure in games, but also their tenure like on the team. So me coming in as an associate, there's that dissonance of where do I, how do I rank among these people, and what's the expectation of me? But then also you have to add that I was very new to games in general. So some people can come brand new to a team, but they've still had some games under their belt and they've had some experience in their back pocket. But I had none of that either. And then also to kind of like add insult to injury, I was one of the only women on the team, on the design team at least, and the only woman on my sub team. And I really can't overstate how important it is to have representation in the workplace,
Yeah.
because I didn't have any role models for really important things that seem like they shouldn't be important things, but just like how does a confident, high performing woman speak to men on this team? Because the way that I spoke to the men on the team was from that other like down looking up kind of angle of like, I need to be accepted. Everyone needs to I need to fit in onto the team. I don't know where I belong on this team, and so like maybe I need to change my personality. Or I also felt this deep need, and I can't explain it now that I'm like a mature woman, but I felt like I needed to make it safe for these men to work alongside a woman. And so sometimes that meant, making jokes that I didn't want to make, or getting comfortable with things that kind of made me uncomfortable, or using the same language that they were using and stuff like that. And so I felt like I felt like this enormous pressure to prove that no, you can hire women. It's okay. You can hire more of us, and kind of like become the people around me. So I feel like if there was someone in leadership, if there was like a woman in leadership I could have looked up to, I could have seen what the role model for that kind of behavior was, and maybe I could have like been more of my own authentic self at the time.
Yeah.
That's sort of an aside.
Yeah, I think it was the only person even close to that was Wendy, who was on environment and exterior art, right? The dungeons and so on. But it's not the same as being in design, where you often have to go toe to toe with other people on a regular basis to get your ideas out there, express yourself, and be understood, right?
Yeah.
So it's true.